Do you know this quote from George Soros?
Yeah, George Soros says he's not a better trader than other people. He's just better at spotting his mistakes and moving on to the next opportunity. And this is something that's really important for traders. So, one of the key sayings by traders is cut your losses. And run your profits. So when you see a loss, when you really don't understand what's going on, get out, start again. It's really important because while you're sitting there nursing a loss, you're wasting valuable time when you could be in another trade, in a profitable trade, but you're consumed with that loss. Now, you may end up nursing that trade and it may eventually turn back into a profit. But during that period, could you have done 3 other profitable trades if you'd stopped focusing on the losing trade? So when you have a losing trade, well, key for me is actually planning the trade before you even start. I teach people, plan your trade, trade your plan. So when you're unemotional, when you're not involved in the trade, decide, where is my low risk entry point? Okay, if the trade starts to go wrong, at what point should I exit the trade because I know that I'm wrong and this trade is probably not going to work? And then also, where is my target? Where do I want to take profit on this? Where would be a good level where I would be really happy? If you decide your entry and exit strategy before you start, you will not get emotionally involved in the trade. You can cut your loss and move on to the next trade quite quickly.
Okay.
And because you've only sustained a loss that you knew you were prepared to accept. When you don't use stop losses, that's when you have to start second guessing, you get emotional, you get panicked, and things start to go badly wrong.
So if I make a losing trade, would you advise me to analyze why?
If you make a losing trade, it is definitely a good idea to go over it and try to see what went right, what went wrong. Just because you have a losing trade doesn't necessarily mean you did anything wrong. What traders need to do is identify low risk trading opportunities where they can risk a small amount to make a greater amount. Now, 100% of those trades won't work. It doesn't necessarily mean you've made a mistake or done something wrong when your trade goes wrong. It simply means that trade didn't work. It doesn't necessarily mean that your strategy isn't valid. You have to move on to the next trade. It's not until you've done 100 trades that you can then analyze your strategy and try to optimize it.
What do you do as a trader in the afternoon?
I don't really have an afternoon routine as a trader. The key for me is all the analysis that I do in the morning. Once I've worked out my trade levels, and I could have 10, 15 trade ideas after doing my 2 hours of analysis, I then enter those trades into my account, and some of them will get executed and some of them won't. The ones that don't get executed, I might decide to leave them in the order book and see if they get executed tomorrow. So in the afternoon, it really is just a case of seeing what trades got executed, moving the stop loss to protect my profits if the trade is working. But I won't necessarily be looking for any extra trades as we head into the evening because I don't want to take on more risk before I go to bed. So no, in the afternoon, I'm not really staring at the screen. I don't believe in trade watching. I think it's a really bad idea. I think it leads you to make spontaneous, irrational decisions as you see the prices and your P&L moving up and down. So actually, I try to get away from the screen. I will look at my phone maybe every 30 minutes, maybe every 1 hour, but I'll go to the gym and try and do other things.
Yeah.
I'm a middle-aged man, so it's really important for me to maintain my health. And of course, you've got to look after your body. You've got to look after what you eat you've got to exercise regularly because we all know that's good for your mind. So it helps you control your emotions, think clearly,